Chapter 10. He found himself in the neighborhood of the asteroids 325, 326, 327, 328, 329, and 330. He began, therefore, by visiting them in order to add to his knowledge. The first of them was inhabited by a king. Clad in royal purple and ermine, he was seated upon a throne which was at the same time both simple and majestic. "Ah, here is a subject," exclaimed the king, when he saw the little prince coming. And the little prince asked himself, how could he recognize me when he had never seen me before? He did not know how the world is simplified for kings. To them, all men are subjects. "Approach, so that I may see you better," said the king, who felt consumingly proud of being the last king over somebody. The little prince looked everywhere to find a place to sit down, but the entire planet was crammed and obstructed by the king's magnificent ermine robe. So he remained standing upright, and since he was tired, he yawned. "It is contrary to etiquette to yawn in the presence of a king," the monarch said to him. "I forbid you to do so." "Oh, goodness. I am so sorry, king." There's a picture of him on this page. "I can't help it. I can't stop myself," replied the little prince, thoroughly embarrassed. "I have come on a long journey, and I have had no sleep." "Ah, then," said the king, "I order you to yawn. It is years since I have had anyone yawn. Anyone yawn. I'm sorry, love, I'm incredibly tired. Yawns to me are objects of curiosity. Come now, yawn again. It is in order." "That frightens me. I cannot any more," murmured the little prince, now completely abashed. "Hum, hum," replied the king. "Then I order you sometimes to yawn and sometimes to—" He sputtered a little and seemed vexed. What the king fundamentally insisted upon was that his authority should be respected. He tolerated no disobedience. He was an absolute monarch. But, because he was a very good man, he made his orders reasonable. "If I order a general," he would say, by way of example, "if I order a general to change himself into a seabird, and the general did not obey me, that would not be the fault of the general, it would be my own fault." "May I sit down?" came now a timid inquiry from the prince. "I order you to do so," the king answered him, and majestically gathered in a fold of his ermine mantle. The little prince was wondering. The planet was tiny. Over what could this king really rule? "Sire," he said to him, "I beg that you will excuse me asking you a question." "I order you to ask me a question," the king hastened to assure. "Sire, what over do you rule?" "Over everything," said the king with magnificent simplicity. "Over everything?" The king made a gesture which took in his planet and other planets, and the stars. "Over all that," the king answered. For his rule was not only absolute, it was also universal. "And do the stars obey you?" "Certainly they do," the king said. "They only obey instantly. I do not permit insubordination." Such power was a thing for the little prince to marvel at. If he had been a master of such complete authority, he would have been able to watch the sunset not 44 times in a day, but 72 or even 100. Or even 200 times, without ever having to move his chair. And because he felt a bit sad as he remembered the little planet which he had forsaken, he plucked up his courage to ask him a favor. "I should like to see a sunset. Do me that kindness. Order the sun to set." "I've ordered a general to fly from one flower to another like a butterfly, to change a child's grammar, to change himself into a seabird. If the general did not carry out the orders he had received, which one of us would that be wrong?" the king demanded. "The general or myself?" "You," said the little prince firmly. "Exactly. One must require from each the duty which one can perform." The king went on, "Accepted authority rests first all on reason. If you ordered your people to throw themselves into the sea, they would rise up in revolution. I have the right to require obedience because my orders are reasonable." "Then my sunset," said the little prince, reminded him. He never forgot a question once he had asked it. "You shall have your sunset. I shall command it, but according to my science of government, I shall wait until the conditions are favorable." "When will that be?" inquired the little prince. "Hum, hum," replied the king, and before saying anything else, he consulted a bulky almanac. "Hum, hum, this will be about, well, that would be about this evening, about 20 minutes to 8, and you will see how well I am obeyed." The little prince yawned. He was regretting his lost sunset, and then, too, he was already beginning to feel a little bored. "I have something more to do here," said the king. "I shall get on my way again." "Do not go," said the king, who was very proud of having a subject. "Do not go, I will make you a minister." "Minister of what?" "Minister of justice." "There's nobody here to judge." "We do not know that," the king said to him. "I have not made a very complete tour of my kingdom. I am very old. There is no room here for a carriage, and it tires me to walk." "But I have looked already," said the little prince, turning round to give one more glance to the other side of the planet. On that side, there was nobody at all. "Then you shall judge yourself," said the king. "That is the most difficult thing of all. It is much more difficult to judge oneself than to judge others. If you succeed in judging yourself rightly, then you are indeed a man of true wisdom. Yes, said the little prince, but I can judge anyone anywhere. I can judge myself anywhere. I do not need to live on this planet. Hum hum, said the king. I have a good reason to believe that somewhere on my planet there is an old rat. I hear him at night. You can hear the old rat. From time to time you will condemn him to death. Vasa's life will depend on your justice. But you will pardon him on each occasion, for he must be treated swiftly. He is the only one he have. I, replied the little prince, do not like to command anyone to death. And now I think I will go on my way. No, said the king. But the little prince, having now completed his preparations for departure, had no wish to grieve the old monarch. If your majesty wishes to be promptly obeyed, he said, he should be able to give me a reasonable order. He should be able, for example, to order me to be gone by the end of 1 minute, if it seems that the conditions are favourable. The king made no answer. The little prince hesitated a moment. Then, with a sigh, he took his leave. I'll make you my ambassador, the king called out hastily. He had a magnificent air of authority. The grown-ups are very strange, the little prince said to himself as he continued on his journey. And here's a picture of the king. And now, I just want to go cuddle. And that is what I'm going to do. Lights off. Lights on. Oh, you're tumbling. Now you're probably looking right into a light. It looks like you're looking at me, and I'm okay with that. Feels strange. I feel like I do feel myself. I just wish I could come home. I miss you a lot. And it's hard to watch you on the other side of the world, having a hard time and not being there. I just want to come home and make you happier. Try and make things better. Not sit on the other side of the world and say stupid things. I just want to be there. A little, just so much more. I'm sorry. I love you, and I miss you. I'll see you soon, sweetheart. Oh, I just want to close my eyes. And wake up. Home again. Just want to open my eyes. Open them up next to you. And run my fingers through your newly curly hair. And just snuggle for a while. I'm weary of all the stuff. I'm tired of school here. I want to get on with my degree and the like. I want to get on being a couple again. Not to say we're not a couple, but I want to go back. Nope, you're tipping. You're tipping. Oh goodness, your shoes are not very good at holding things up. They're wonderful shoes, but they're not the world's greatest table. And goes Christy. Well, I'll just hold it steady then. I will. I'm sorry if you ever feel like I put pressure on you. I never mean to put pressure. It's not even a matter of, I'm just putting pressure because I want you to do what I must. Sometimes I'm not 100% sure what to say to make you feel better. That's why I know it's important to be around. When I make suggestions about things to do, or talk through the things on your mind, like why you don't want to do this, or why this isn't a good idea, or, things like that, and I give you reasons in opposition, or not in opposition, but reasons why. I always feel like it comes across like, well, you're being wrong, and I'm being right, and I don't want it to. It isn't that. I don't want it to be that, and I never tried to make it that. And I know you know that. And I not what I just said, but I mean, I know you know everything I say anyways, and I know that. And it's just me trying to fix things, and I know that sometimes you really just want someone to listen. Yet I'm sorry if I haven't been the best listener all the time. Something you need to work on. I know I won't stop completely trying to nudge my fingers into everything to try and make it better. I think it's important, though, that I listen to you more. You've got an amazing head on your shoulders. It blows most people out of the water. And like you said, those other people can't talk to people or can't, function in society. And then again, I'll be home in 10 days. I'll be home in 10 days and I'll just go away and it'll be so nice. So nice. I feel like I've been confusing sometimes, to you. On this trip, especially. And I'm sorry about that. I'm a little confused, too. I love you. And you're amazing. And I can't wait to be home. I've missed you so much. I think this is the most I've ever missed you. Not to say that other times haven't come close. But I just really want to be with you right now. I don't want you to feel estranged. But if you do feel estranged, that's okay. We can work on that. And sometimes I feel like I'm not being me over here. Letting myself get away with doing things I shouldn't. Anyways. Oh, an eyelash. Come on, get up. Get up. Ah. Make a wish. I love you, sweetheart. Sleep wham, keep calm, find a llama. Carry on. I miss you terribly. And I'll be home soon. 10 days are always the hardest. I love you, Chrissy. Good night. I guess I gotta click that button now. Can zoom in and then I'll click it. Woo!